Yellowface working for X, 20 being scrapped from Teapot 20. Today I'm gonna give you the best fun facts for almost each Algebralian. Number 1. 9 actually has a cat and 3 kitty boards. Number 2. In the song Counting on Christmas, 10 revealed that they'd like to compete in their own show.
I wanna compete in my own show.
Number 3. Remember the old video, X finds out his value? Well, for those who don't know, 7 is actually X's value. Years later, Jack and Jellyfy even made a scene in which they show 7 crying, because everyone forgot about them after this video. Number 4. In the special episode, thanks for 2,763,000 subscribers, we see the main Zero having a bunch of tapes. One of them showed something we weren't really supposed to know.
Oh, 15.
Number 5. Pi is the first irrational number that we see in the special episode Pi vs. Pi, the Pi Day Massacre. As you may already guess, their archenemy is Pi. Number 6. In Teapot 20, 2 and Gady were discussing how the floors are numbered. This is a reference to the fact that 2 has a British accent, while Gady has an American accent. Number 7. You know how Algebralians usually just host the competitions? Well, in the special episode, thanks for 1 million subscribers, they actually participated in a competition called Battle for Permission to Meet 10, which is pretty ironic since it was 10's wish to participate in a competition. By the way, 8 was the winner. Number 8. Remember how in Teapot 20 we saw almost all the Algebralians? Well, according to this X post, we were also supposed to see 20 appearing in the episode, but this idea was probably scrapped. Number 9. Square root of 2 has their own apartment.
Hey there! Wanna come over to my apartment and eat some overcooked pasta?
Number 10. In Teapot 20, we find out that 3 is made out of a brick-like material, which is completely different to the materials that other Algebralians are made of.
Yeah, too bad.
There's another one. It totally has a different texture from the first one.
Number 11. A little bit earlier, I've said that X is actually Yellowface's employer. Why? Well, in BFDI 2, during Yellowface's first commercial, he asks us to call the phone number 2 to buy his overpriced bubblegum, right? Now, if you then go to the special video, Number Playground Chronicle Extended, you'll see that 2 is actually X's phone number. So, as Carrie himself said,
and then they say, if you want a gumball, call the number in your screen. And what number is it? It's 2. I mean, okay, obviously these are 2 different universes, but I think it's funny to think maybe that means that X is the one who's selling the gumballs because you're calling X's phone number.
But if that didn't impress you, know that X is also a fan of Daft Punk. Number 12. 16 appeared once at the beginning of 14's story in the special episode, thanks for 2 million subscribers. Number 13. Tau actually equals pi times 2, which is approximately 6.283, and many other numbers that I'm not gonna enumerate here.
And tau, you're just pi multiplied by 2. Boo!
Well, you're just a stupid golf ball.
Number 14. Do you know who is the first Algebralian to ever appear in the canon version of BFDI? Well, it's not 2, 4, nor X, it's actually 14. They appeared at the beginning of the episode Catch These Hands, way back in season 2. They're also the weirdest Algebralian as they like to eat other people's skin. Number 15. Now here's something crazy about 4. When X finds out his value, they say that you should use a pencil to do math.
Use a pencil.
But why? Because that video was made for Carrie and Michael's pre-algebra class, and their teacher was always encouraging them to use pencils instead of pens.
That math teacher always said that we should use pencils to do math instead of pens, because you can always erase with pencils in case you make mistakes, which is common in math.
So that line was an inside joke in the classroom. Number 16. 24 is actually the host of a spelling bee show. On the other hand, 63 is also a host in a spelling bee show called Algebra Elementary. Both of them were seen in Zero's tapes from the special episode. Number 17. At this point in the series, 1 is probably the most powerful Algebralian, right? But 10 months ago, we saw an Algebralian that could probably wipe the floor with 1. 2,763. This creature can literally draw the power of every number from their proximity and become stronger than anyone else. Fortunately, they only appear in a special episode, so they're not exactly canon. Number 18. Nonagon Polygon actually has a dog, which is called Fat in the Playground Chronicle Extended. Number 19. 6 is one of 5 Algebraliens to be voiced by a female voice actor. The other ones are 1, 3, 2,763, and square root of 2. 6 is also the first number to appear in X Finds Out His Value, and they have a black cat. Number 20. In Teapot 14, we can see a 1 drawing being held on the fridge by a moon magnet. This is a reference to 1's connection to the moon. Also, notice that although they're distant to the rest of the Algebraliens, they're the closest to 3, like they were in the past. Now, besides this, I also discovered that during the 2025 BFDI and Inanimate Insanity Tour, it was revealed that 1 was inspired by Bill Cipher from Gravity Falls and the Devil from Cuphead. But I couldn't find any video to back up the wiki page, so take it with a grain of salt. Number 21. Euler's constant is probably the most peaceful non-variable number. Why? Because in the episode Pi vs. Pi, we can see them preferring to play chess instead of fighting. Number 22. Infinity appeared in an X post made by Jack and Jellyfy celebrating the Autism Acceptance Day. You can see that their design is heavily based on the official autism symbol. Number 23. 5 is the only Algebralian to be partially sucked up by 4 after being eliminated from the challenge. They were also the only one who lost because the challenge was
Not be a purple number 5. 9, you're neither purple nor a 5. 7, you too.
Phew.
And that leaves us with... sorry, 5.
4 really dislikes him. Number 24. Since I found out about X's existence, I always wondered if there was a Y or a Z somewhere in the BFDI universe. Well, Y actually appears in one of Carrie Huang's videos called The Worst Lie Mickey Mouse Has Ever Told. There, he explained something called palindromic and apalindromic beanstalks. But honestly, the only thing I remember is that the mouse lied to us all. Number 25. As shown in the Number Playground Chronicle Extended, Rectangle Polygon writes a lot of articles in their newspaper. But the crazy part is that all of the articles are precisely made out of 2 sentences. I'm too dumb to figure out if this was a math joke or something. But besides that, they always end their articles with a diagonal square. Number 26. Remember the force? Well, its scientific name is Equus Quator, which actually translates to 4 horses in Latin. Number 27. In the first 12 seconds of Thanks for 2,763,000 subscribers, we can see this graffiti which says 12 was here. Number 28. Remember this guy from the episode Seasonal Shift? Well, they're the 27th letter of the alphabet, and possibly the only talking Algebralian with only 1 leg. On the other hand, Verpt is the 28th letter of the alphabet, and the only Algebralian that doesn't have any limbs besides. Number 29. Imaginary number looks just like non-existy, but they're a bit more aggressive.
It's the imaginary number.
Number 30. Although 15 doesn't have any yoylite powers, they have a flamethrower. Number 31. In Counting on Christmas, one of the regular zeros' wish is to snow.
And I really, really, really want some snow.
Number 32. Quadrilateral Polygon is a movie critic, as shown in the Number Playground Chronicle Extended. Number 33. Green 7 is actually a variation resulting from 14's division. Number 34. Z appears as a recommended Algebralian in the episode BFB 17 like many others. Now, there are indeed more Algebralians that I could talk about, but most of them are either non-canon, partially canon, recommended characters, or just appear one time, and there's no information about them. I'm new, and I don't want to make any mistakes, so I stick with what I understand. Talking about mistakes, I also know that Pencil is a girl. You can see his mouth and arm detached from his body, but somehow when I wrote the script, I put his instead of her and just voiced it as it was. So, if you want to correct me more in the comments, make sure to check this whole BFDI playlist.